Most real estate agents dream of having a business where all of their clients come directly to them, and all of it is repeat and referrals. But the problem is that most don't know how to get there. But in today's video, I bring on Kris Caldwell, who went this last year from creating a new team to closing over $200 million in volume in home sales entirely by leveraging a repeat and referral strategy. And in this video, for the first time ever, he reveals exactly what he does in order to get more clients for free. Not only that, he breaks down what you should be doing this year every single day from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed if you want to stand out as an agent amongst the crowd and the sea of competition in your market, so that you can start to, again, build a personal brand that is synonymous with quality and start to have more people coming directly to you every single month that turn into closed deals. Now, two quick things before we're getting started. Number one, I will link Kris's content below so that you can check it out for yourself and follow along to see exactly what we're talking about. And number two, I will link his calendar below because he's got an incredible team and a lot of training and tools for agents just like you looking to scale, and you can chat with him about getting his help for free to take your business to the next level. So without further ado, let's bring on Kris and talk to you about how to scale your real estate business, the exact activities you should do, and ultimately how to build a repeat and referral business that is predictable, consistent, and allows you to work with your dream clients every single month. All right, Kris, so super excited to have you on here, man. You know, you have been such an incredible role model for so many agents down there in Denver, Colorado. And, you know, you've built the type of business that every agent dreams of, which is building a repeat and referral business where your ideal clients come to you. Everybody's sick and tired of chasing the next deal, finding the next lead, and wondering where the next client's coming from, or working with nightmare clients. So I'm super excited to dive into this, but first give some context, who you are, where you're from, and what kind of got you to this crazy point.
Yeah, no, Mike, I appreciate you having me on. I'm excited. Um, Man, it's been a couple years of transformation for me, and joining a new brokerage, I couldn't be more excited for the future, more than I've ever been.
Yeah.
For me, Kris Caldwell, a leader of the Apollo Group, founder of this team, been in real estate just over a decade, have coached hundreds of agents, to become principal agents, launch their own teams. There's some people who I'm coming full circle with, who I got into the industry, who are part of the Wolf Pack, and shout out to Louis Galt and Matt McGee, Alex Huber. We're back.
Yeah.
I've been coaching agents forever. It's in my DNA. I just love, you know, actually, let me back up. As you get older, you start to realize why you are who you are. And for me, I always played team sports. So I've always enjoyed winning with others
Mhm.
more than winning myself. So, got into real estate a decade ago. First year I did like 68 transactions, just hammered it. I was young at the time. My girlfriend, who's now my wife, she was working at the gym, working at 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, perfect. I could work all day, every day. I'm just gonna pour everything I have into this because, you know, what else is there to do? Um, and then from there, you stepped into leadership roles at a small brokerage, broke off, started my own brokerage, grew to the number one team in the state, and this last year actually broke off again and rebranded myself as the Apollo Group, which is our mission is to be co-pilots for agents in their journey to a repeat and referral business, and co-pilots for our clients. There's a lot of things changing that we have to help navigate. In the landscape with the economy, with rules and regulations, with our clients' budgets, and the things that they're faced with, and help them navigate and take advantage of whatever market we're in. So my team, we rebranded this last year. We went from 0 to 30 agents in 12 months, 0 to 200 million in 12 months. And watch out, Colorado, we're coming. Just like Deion Sanders says, who's up in we here, and now
Yeah.
we're coming. Let's go. We want to do 400 million next year, and be the number one team in Colorado. So that's a little bit about me. And I have a beautiful wife. Her name's Patricia. She works with me on my team, which is a huge blessing. Got a 5-year-old son, Calvin. Those are my whys. That's those are the things that make, you powerful, is when you understand like why you do what you do. The how is easy. The
Yeah.
motivation, there is no motivation. I have them. That's what drives me every day. So, well, that's a little bit about me.
I love that, dude. Well, yeah, the reference to Dion's pretty epic, and you guys have a really aggressive mindset down there, which I love. I'd actually love for you to talk about that before we start going into the tactical, because coming into 2025, I think a lot of people really didn't have the 2024 that they were expecting. And I always tell people that the reason why most people give up is because they forgot why they got started, and they don't have a purpose or a why that's strong enough to motivate them every day. Because every time you see somebody get into real estate, they're excited, they're ecstatic, they're, so inspired to change their life, change their family's life. And then reality hits and things set in, and they kind of get all caught up in the motions, and then they forget that. So do you want to talk about that before we get into the tactical, of just the importance of being able to have that constant reminder of why you're doing this, what your purpose is, and who you're doing this for, making it bigger than just yourself?
Absolutely. It's motivation comes and goes, right? Some days I'm motivated, some days I'm not. Um, and Louis talks about this, and Ed Milet talks about this, about your standards. You know, we've all got these goals, we've all got these crazy aspirations, but what is your standard? But even deeper than that is, why are you holding those standards, and who are
Mhm.
you holding them for? So for me, my family is number one. And I am so inspired by them to be able to provide a life for them, and give them my time. And that's what's, having discipline with inside real estate or whatever career you're having. It gives you the opportunity to have time with what's important to you. And there's nothing more important to me than when I come home and my son's like, "Dad, let's wrestle, let's play, Legos, Nerf guns." That's my why. That's what
Yeah,
gets me up every day. I've got a picture of my son in my wallet. I carry it around. You know, Here he is.
that's
There's my
adorable.
Calvin. There's my little mini me. but but that's my why, because and that's why I stay disciplined for him, because I also want to be a great role model for him, for my wife, for my family. I want to be somebody that they could be proud of to look at. Because I'm human. There's
Mhm.
plenty of days where I'm tired. I don't want to show up. I'm cranky, you know. So it's like I always talk to everyone I coach. I'm like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
you know, it's never going to be perfect, but as long as you're showing up and understanding why you're showing up and who you're showing up for, man, that's going to you're going to figure it out, because there's been plenty of times where I had no fucking clue what I was doing, but I just kept pushing forward because of those people that meant the
Yeah.
world to me. And you figure it out along, as you go.
100%, dude. That's so powerful. And I think, that's why people always need to like write this out and make sure that it's a daily reminder, and having that picture, having, something every single day that just reminds you of your purpose is so powerful. So, building that repeat and referral business. Okay.
Mhm.
So I always see kind of two different components to this. First, we need to convert leads so they actually become clients. Then we need to nurture them properly so they actually want to work with us again and refer us. So why don't we start with what most people struggle with, which is lead conversion? I think this is one of the big topics that so many people have a lot of difficulty with. Is generating leads can be easy, whether it's signing up for an online platform, using Facebook ads, Google ads. But then how do we actually turn them into clients
Mm.
is step number one. So what's your take on that?
Absolutely. There's, well, one, I mean, look out the window. There's 1,000 ways to get leads. You
Hmm.
know, Leads is just a name, a number, a person, right? You could buy them, you can meet them, but to your point, how do you convert them? And what I coach on and really focus on is this: what's your story? Everybody is writing a story. So once you understand the story that you're writing, you're going to be able to determine if you're going to attract those people to you or push them away. So, what does that mean? Are you working on yourself, personal development? Are you competent? Are you confident? Are you inserting your own style? Because I can't coach people to be Kris Caldwell. You can't coach people to be Mike Sherrard. You can give them a blueprint, but they have to insert themselves into that blueprint, you know? So understanding the story that you're telling and writing about yourself. And here's what I share. It's like, this is what my clients say about me, because I'm still a practicing realtor. Kris was competent. He was confident. He led me every step of the way. I was informed. I knew what was going on. There was no pressure. I'm a no pressure salesman. If this is a house that you want, fantastic. Let's uncover what's wrong with it. And if you still want to buy it, my job isn't to talk you out of it or talk you into it. It's to give you the information so you can make a good decision. Hey, Kris, there's structural issues, but we love the house anyway. It backs up the open space. We'll never lose this view. Like, okay, but when we go to sell this in 10 years, this is going to be an issue. We don't care. All right. As long as I'm advising my clients with integrity, honesty, and having fun, and this is just something where agents, I feel like they forget.
Yeah.
You gotta have fun. These people are like, they're taking hours, sometimes like weeks of time to like go and look at houses with you, with their kids, with their jobs. You gotta show up with some energy. You gotta show up with excitement. Because if you don't do that, well, guess what? There's another guy who's gonna come to the table with that excitement, with that confidence, with that competence of them knowing the market, knowing how to navigate it, and they're going to attract them to just to that person, to that agent, because they're just showing up differently. So how do you show up? And it's funny. I still coach this as like, block everything out. Like, you show up, you pull up early, and and there's a whole like list of things that you can control, right? Your attitude, your time. Oh, those freaking emojis. Here we go. Well, if I'm gonna do them, let's do this one. This one's way
Yeah.
That's why you need to show up like
Yes.
fireworks. You need to explode out of the car. Hi, Mike. So nice to meet you. People can feel that interaction, and if you genuinely mean it. So that's what I focus on: controlling my story, understanding what people are saying about me, because that's how I'm going to get repeat and referral business. If I, on the flip side, if I show up like this, hi, Mike, nice to meet you. I'm Kris Caldwell with EXP. Let's take a look at the house, and let me know if you have any questions. They're guiding you. You're not guiding them, and there's no way that they're going to refer you any business, because they're not going to go back to their office or their friends and family and say, wow, I met this guy who's like amazing. He does what he says he's going to do. No secret there. Which again, in sales, the secret is there are no secrets. You just show up how you need to show up, and control that narrative, and do that over and over and over again. And I promise you, your business will just start showing up for you, because your clients believe in you. They start to meet you, the person, not Kris, a realtor. And something I do, just to touch on that, I have a wine night every year at my house. This year we had 24 couples at my house for a wine night. And I'm not even into wine, but people love it. It's cool. It's interesting. You get to, mingle and share stories that like have nothing to do with real estate. What's going on with your life? Because we also have to realize when we meet people, they're people, and so are you. So introduce them to the person, not a realtor.
Yeah. Well, dude, there's so many things to unpack there, and I can kind of, add to that as well. And I love what you just left with, which is that leads are people. So many people think leads, views, subscribers are numbers, but they're actual people. And I always tell people, because I did a lot of online lead gen with Facebook ads and Google ads, and I always encourage people to think, if you've got a son or a daughter, how would you nurture, or how would you reach out and follow up with that lead if it was your son or daughter? How would you want somebody to do it? Would you want them to pressure them? Would you want them to force them? Would you want them to, be selfish about it? Or if that was your son or daughter that became a lead, would you want somebody to take care of them, show genuine interest in them, bring energy and, like you said, competence and confidence to that conversation and guide them instead of just treating them like a number? And what you said about energy is so critical. And I hope people really take this to heart. State is everything. And I see this all the time. People even show up to like Zoom training calls, and most of the people are just like this. And it's like, I can't, I guess I can waste another hour. But then you see the killers and the people that are winning in real estate, and they show up and they're pumped, they're excited, they're enthusiastic. And that goes back to the law of vibration. It actually attracts people. And one of the things I always encourage people to ponder on, if you will, is ask yourself, if your client was watching over your shoulder every single hour of the day that you're working, would they actually want to work with you based on how you show up, based on how you treat yourself, based on your work ethic, based on your knowledge? Should they work with, would you even work with yourself? And most people wouldn't work with themselves based on their knowledge, based on their state, based on their energy, because they're just floating through. Whereas you see people that are winning and you wonder why, right? Because everything they do is intentional. It's with purpose. They show up with energy, with excitement, because you've got all these people that work a 9 to 5 that they hate. We have the ability to wake up and do whatever we want every single day to change lives and impact people. That's
Oh yeah.
something to get excited about. And many people forget that. So I really love that you led with energy, because so many people are always looking for the perfect script. Like, the truth is, ChatGPT can give you an online follow-up script. Just go ask it. But how do you deliver that script? With what intention, with what energy, with what purpose are you going to? Right? That's the critical difference when it comes to lead generation. Is it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And
Yeah,
so many people forget about that.
for sure. And you make me think of something that we do at the end of all of our team meetings. Did you follow wrestling in America when you were growing up?
As a kid.
Okay, perfect. So you know who Ric Flair is?
Oh yeah.
Yes, perfect. So when we end every team meeting, I say 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! That's how we end our meetings.
Yeah,
You
dude.
know, it is just a reminder that, again, you can control it. You can control your energy. You can control. Tony Robbins talks about this. You can control your state or change your state like that.
Yep.
You know, and how do you do it? Get up, move your hands, jump around, do jumping jacks, do some push-ups, whatever it takes. Change your state, and you can feel that vibration.
Big time. Yeah, dude, that's so powerful, and something that not many people talk about, because they're always looking for the secret sauce, or the overnight success trick. But the truth is how you show up every day is going to dictate the conversion that you have. So I love that. And okay, so we've got clients, and now what the heck do we do to build the dream business of repeat referral? Because the stats out there are crazy. You know this better than most people, which is something absurd. Like 80 something percent of clients don't work with their past agent. And you start looking at why people struggle. They always hit like this plateau around between 100,000 and a quarter million, where they seem to just burn out, because it's one by one by one by one. They're always new leads, new clients, new leads, new clients. They rarely get this repeat and referral business. And that's when you start to scale and you stop with the nightmare clients, because people forget that the cheapest leads are the referral clients, because you spend no money to make them, right? All you do is pour into people, and everybody's building this business that is just so unfriendly when it comes to budgeting, because you're always having to spend to get more. instead of having more come directly to you. So what's your process to build that kind of business?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll give some, unsolicited advice to just a new agent, and find a team that's doing all the things that I'm about to talk about, which is the stuff that we do. Because when you're a new agent, you're limited on resources, you're limited on money, and maybe you don't want to, but I would advise you to risk it all. And what I mean by that is, when I first started, I didn't have a bag of money or somebody, who was, hey, here's $100,000, spend it wisely, invest in your business. No, I had a credit card,
Yeah.
and I just swiped that credit card for $30,000. But I was smart. I wrote out a business plan and I followed through with it. So what is that? To a repeat and referral business, what are some of the things that I do? And it's going to sound simple, but you have to execute. And that's where people miss. These are simple tasks, but actually doing them is the hard part. So it goes like this. And I'll start from like the beginning. In my CRM, I look at and I've been doing this at the end of the year with all my agents. We're looking at their sale closed. All right, cool. You closed 20 deals, 40 deals, 30 deals, whatever may have you. These are your sphere clients. These people are like, they believe in you, they love you, they trust you. And you need to put just as much effort into keeping that relationship as you did in closing the first transaction. So, what does that mean? So, at the end of every year, I have all my agents input the birthdays for the entire year. So you wake up in the morning, and maybe you've heard this before, but I'm a big believer in this. The mantra, I do it now.
Yeah.
I do it now. Whenever there's something that comes up on my calendar, I do it now. And I would just encourage every agent to just develop that mantra, because yes, it's easy to do it later. But so many agents who don't have a repeat and referral business have a laundry list of do it laters. So
Yeah.
first one is, put your birthdays in there. Second one is sign them up on your newsletter. Have it be about, something local and then something personal. I talk about the 3 P's: personal, profession, and passion.
Hmm.
Share all 3 of those. Something personal about you, something you're passionate about, and something professional. So then they get to the whole person, what you're doing on a daily basis. And for me, you know, I'm passionate about hiking the mountains. So I share, something about a hiking trip that I did this. God, these freaking emojis. You have to edit those out.
Yeah.
But I share something about the mountains, the hike that I did this year. So I did the Colorado Trail, the last 4 segments this year up by, in Durango. It was just an 80-mile just crusher. I'm the type of guy, I can't be on a beach. I need to move. So I
Same.
share that. I share something personal about my family, what we're doing, how we're doing. And then I share something professional about my business, whether that's a just sold. And if you're a new agent, share something that's going on in your market, a cool property that's sold. Share something that your team is doing. Share something that you're doing, an open house that you're working. Put that in your newsletter. Get everybody set up on it and be disciplined with it. Do it once a month. It's only 12 times a year. Birthdays, newsletter. Okay, next thing, events. So something we do as a team, we do one big event a quarter. We just rented out the Denver Zoo. We had 1,200 past clients come to the zoo for the Denver Zoo lights. Now that would be an expensive task as a new agent. So find a team that's doing something like that. There are tons of them out there. Then I did this when I was a broke agent. I did the wine nights, and the wine nights have
Hmm.
gotten bigger as they've gone on. But when I owned a townhouse um, over in Sloan's Lake, if you're familiar with that neighborhood over here, small little townhouse, and it started off with 4 couples, 4 of my past clients on our rooftop. It was $100 to have this lady. And we use the wine shop. Plug them here. I'm not sponsored. Plug them here, but they're all Napa Valley wines. She comes and presents the wine. She's a sommelier. It's a cool experience, and it's very cheap to do. So find something that you could put on that brings your clients to you. So birthdays, newsletter, team events, your own personal events. And then maybe you've heard of this, no reason reach out. Because
Mm.
everybody tries to overcomplicate this.
Yeah.
Call your clients. Why do you call them? Mike, what's up, dude? I'm literally calling you for no reason other than to catch up and say what's up. Get over that awkward statement like, oh, what am I going to say? How am I going to? I just told you. I'm literally calling you for no reason other than to catch up and say what's up. How are you? How was Christmas? How was the fourth quarter? What's going on in your family? How's business? And share your life story too. This is what we like to do as humans. We like to hear from each other. So don't overthink it. Call your clients once a quarter, grab coffee with them. The clients that refer you more business, grab lunch with them. So, and be disciplined about that year in, year out. And of course, put all your clients, because people ask me, how do I get more seller leads? Close more buyer leads. They immediately turn into seller leads. Put them on all those home value alerts, follow up with them, and do that methodically and maniacally. If you do that, your life will change forever. You'll have exactly what you want to have. And this is what I ask, my agents as I'm sitting here going over business planning. Did you achieve what you wanted to achieve this year? And a lot of agents is yes. Some agents is no. I'm like, okay, well, did you do the things that a pro would do? And when you're honest with yourself, like, you know what? I didn't do those things, which is those small tasks over and over. It's no secret. The secret is just actually doing them. So that's the playbook. Have at it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. And I had a very similar trajectory because you talked about the sommelier nights and that's what I used to do. And people need to realize you don't need a huge budget for this. Like I had a local sommelier that was would do wine and charcuterie nights, and I did it because I had no money. I did it in the beginning only when a closing happened. So when I knew a commission check was coming, I would say, okay, the sommelier night is about $500-600 Canadian, and I'm gonna have my clients and 12 of their best friends over for this night, whether it's celebrating their new house or celebrating the chapter that they're opening after selling their house. And now you're having this beautiful experience where you brought them together, but they're in their house with their friends, and they always thank you. You were the catalyst to that night happening. You don't have to sell anything. You just have casual conversations, and then you're the one odd duck out of their friend circle that's like, who's this guy or girl? And they're always going to say a huge thank you and a little bit of a speech for putting the night on. And it was the easiest thing because I knew I had money coming in. So spending that or investing that into my business didn't hurt me at all. But it was a massive benefit because you see so many people when it comes to client possession gifts, it's a bottle of champagne. Well, from experience, 75% of my clients don't give a shit about champagne. They don't even like it. You don't even, that is a clear symbol that you don't know your clients if that is just a staple every time. Is it a nice gesture? Sure. Is it better than nothing? Of course. But as you start to build that business, people want to be seen, felt, heard, and appreciated. What do you know about them, and how can you pour into them that makes them feel acknowledged more than anybody else is doing the same shit that everybody else does? So I love that you talk about that. And it's being intentional, like you said, about developing that habit of doing things now, because in this business where you have no boss breathing down your neck, if you don't do it now, you'll do it later, but later becomes a week, a month, 6 months, never, every single time. And by the time 6 months elapses, somebody else swooped in, did the right process, and now they just became that person's client.
Absolutely. And that's one of my favorite things. I love being the rebound realtor. Oh,
Yeah.
your agent didn't follow up with you? Oh, tell me all the things that they didn't do so I know exactly what to do. Your
Yeah.
clients will give you the playbook.
Yeah.
All you have to do is ask.
Yeah. 100%. And those touch points are so critical because they're not that difficult, but again, it's an important staple where that's almost the common consensus that I've seen. When I look at every single successful agent, the first thing they bring up, which you just did, is in my CRM was the first thing you said. And when I look at anybody that's struggling, the one thing they never say is in my CRM because they don't use one. And again, it doesn't matter. Go pick whatever one you want because they all work if you do the work, right? You don't need the perfect one with the best pricing structure and the best features. Doing something is better than nothing. And I think so many people are coming to this year. You can't build a skyscraper on a single family house foundation, right? If you're operating off of Google Sheets and you don't have anything in place, you're not going to be able to build that, it's like you're doing a $400 million empire. For some people, their first 40 deals. It's tough to get there when you can't track anything because what gets measured gets managed. If you don't know where things are coming from, you're gonna be in a tough spot.
Well, and it's I'm a big proponent in CRMs, and I'm glad you're talking about it because if you don't have discipline with that, if you're not organized, it's just a crapshoot. Control what you can control. And I coach on active prospecting and passive prospecting. Passive prospecting is okay. My clients in my CRM, I've got them set up on all the drip campaigns. Yeah. I've got them set up on an automatic search. Okay, perfect. That's passive prospecting. That's going to do 10% of the work. 90% of the work, and this is, for me, I'm old school. I would take all my clients who are in a showing home status, and I'd write them down. Mike, Louie, Matt, and I'd educate myself on the market. Like, okay, Mike's wants a 5-bedroom, 5-bath. He wants to be in this neighborhood. Okay, cool, go. And I'll look at all those properties. I'll hand pick 1 or 2 properties, and I'll send them. Hey, Mike, what do you think about this one? If you'd like to go see it, I'd love to show you. I think it checks all the boxes that you're looking for. And then I cross it off my list, and that feels good.
Yeah. Dude, I love that you said that. Every day, physical list, my power list, and I have my green highlighter every day.
Oh yeah, right here. It's all in here, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta have it.
Yeah.
Because you're not closing homes every day. Even if you close, 24 homes, that's 2 a month. It's those daily things that this feels good. Yeah. I feel like I'm making progress by doing these things every day, and it's going to having the discipline to do it. So, and there's no secret. There's no secret. There's just the execution. If you can execute, you can grow your own $400 million empire. I've seen people do it. Everybody can.
100%, dude. And even what you said about having that win, like for me, taking this green highlighter that I was having and being able to cross that off, so many people become addicted to the goal or the outcome. But when I look at winners like you and other people I've had the pleasure of partnering with, they fall in love with the process of just how can I win every day, and if I win every day, the outcome or the goal takes care of itself, right? And so many people are just waiting for things to fall out of the sky without doing the right habits. And there's something that you said which is really critical before I ask 2 important questions, which is if somebody didn't hit their goals in 2024 as you're going through this goal setting and audit with your agents coming into 2025, you ask them, like, did they do the right activities? And that's what I always tell people is that your income's a direct reflection of the type of entrepreneur that you become. If you're sitting at 80K and you want to go to 250K, all that you have to do is ask yourself, what would somebody making 250K be doing? They would probably be following up. They would probably be reaching out. They would probably have a consistent lead pipeline. They would probably be disciplined with their calendar. I should probably do that, right? It's not that difficult. Yeah. It's like you said in the beginning, real estate is simple. It's just not easy because the simple tasks are not the most fun to do. But if you can fall in love with it and have those quick wins, you'll be in a very good spot because that will start to stack. Now, the questions that I wanted to ask, number one, you said something that both you and a couple of others have made a pillar in their business, which is the, market education, right? You talked about being educated and on top of things, being very, aware so that you can educate your clients properly. And then
Mhm.
another thing is the time and priority management. So first, starting with the market research, what are
Yeah.
you doing on a consistent basis to educate yourself so that you are competent, which most
Mhm.
agents unfortunately aren't?
Yes. Well, you know, all the tools and resources are at your fingertips. And let
Yeah,
me tell you, everyone wants to give them to you for free. And
yeah,
who is that? The title companies. They track all the data. Why do they track it? Because they want you to use them as their title company. So I get a weekly report from our title rep and I actually read it. I see what's going on. What is the average days on market? How, and at different price points too. I
hmm,
understand because different neighborhoods are going up, some neighborhoods are coming down. And then I read about the micro level, which is the title reports that are giving you on a weekly basis, and then educate yourself on like what's going on at a macro level with the country. You know, what does the job report say? Gosh, those freaking thumbs. um, what does the job report say? Because that is a good indicator of our economy. Is the economy growing or
hmm,
is it shrinking? Because if it's growing, more jobs means more money in the economy, which means people are going to be able to afford more homes, which means prices are probably going to go up. So that's from a macro level. Then, even getting more micro is when you're looking at properties for your client, back to that passive and active prospecting, you could start to establish and educate yourself as an agent and separate yourself by looking and educating on what's on the market today. So I'll flip through the houses and I'll start to identify, okay, $50,000 more gets you new floors.
hmm,
$100,000 more gets you a bigger lot, another bed, another bedroom, another bathroom. So you start to understand, what's happening in the market. So you can tell your clients like, hey, here's what $50,000 gets you. Here's what $100,000 more gets you, and here's what the payment difference is. And if you're able to speak intelligently about that and give them what they want, you are leaps and bounds ahead of every realtor who just sets up a saved search and
yeah,
waits for their clients to text them. That's why you're not transacting as fast as you want to transact because you're never going to sell somebody on buying a house. The
hmm,
house sells itself. But what you can do is find the right house that your client is going to fall in love with. And if you're just waiting for a saved search to do that, again, you're losing to the pros who are doing those daily maniacal tasks of actively reaching out to their clients and educating them like, hey, this is actually a really good deal for this neighborhood, and understanding, the economy right now is like, hey, even though it says 800,000, I've actually seen in this neighborhood a 5% concession, on average from list price to sales price. And here's what that means for you. We can negotiate to come down to list price. We can negotiate for them to pay down the rate. We can ask them to pay for a new furnace, a new roof. There has been so much negotiating going on this last year that if you missed out, oh my gosh,
yeah,
like what I have been so bullish on on buyers this last year because these people, if you did right by them, you negotiated fiercely, are going to have the biggest referral business when the economy flips, when
yeah,
it goes back to low interest rates. All you have all these cheerleaders who are like, oh my God, Kris knew exactly what was going on with the market. He was able to negotiate, you know, and tell us like what was going on. So we got the best deal. Whereas if you didn't do any of that, you're just losing out to the people who do. So, that's how I stay educated. I reach out to my local title rep. I know what's going on. So that way I don't have to, I don't pretend to be an economist,
yeah,
but I read what the economists have to say. So, you don't have to overthink it. Just use the resources at your disposal in your, in your local communities.
Yeah, it's so powerful because so many people they know that they need to be educated on the market, but then they make up an excuse. And I always tell people an excuse is a nail to build a house of failure. All that you're doing is putting the blame on somebody else. They're like, well, where do I find it? I can't find it. Google doesn't have it. Somebody has it. Find the person. When one of the best things that I've learned is always ask yourself who, not how. As
Mhm.
soon as something comes up, ask who can I go to that will have this answer or this solution before trying to reverse engineer how I can do it, knowing somebody's already probably done it 10 times over, 10 times better. And be a yes man or a yes woman. Somebody always will find the answer for you. But then you said another critical part,
Mhm.
which is just being able to make that a staple in your business to educate people with confidence, right? Going back to the competency and confidence, that for me was the easiest way to get over the hurdle of being a young agent with no experience. I was competent and I had confidence. And
Mhm.
when somebody asked how the market was going, and I didn't just say, it's okay, I would say, well, which quadrant? What type of
Yeah.
property? What are you looking like? Specifics, and you could give clear answers to that. Nobody's ever going to doubt your level of experience, how many homes you've sold, how many buyers you've worked with, how many years you've been in the industry. They're just going to say, wow, this man or woman gave me exactly what I was looking for. Cool. That's all they're looking for is answers. And if you can give it
Mhm.
to them and not just have this generic fluffy response like most of the industry, that's where you're in a competitive market. My market's decently competitive. You look at Toronto with 70,000 agents. The truth is, like, yes, this industry has a lot of competition, but the majority of the competition is very uneducated, very undisciplined,
Mhm.
and they're not just they're just not doing much. So to get ahead of that competition is really not that hard. It's just doing the simple activities right every day.
100%. And I and just some advice for agents out there is just you made me think about it. You know, all these title reps, they know who the best agents are.
Yeah.
They know who the best teams are. And it's their job to connect good people with good teams. So don't start off by like trying to go interview with a bunch of teams you know nothing about. Go to a title company and say, hey, I'm a new agent. I'm hungry. I'm motivated and I want to make, I want to be a top producer. Which team does that align with? And they'll introduce you to those people,
Yeah.
So again, use the resources at your disposal. You don't need to know everything, but if you reach out, you can know everything.
Yeah, big time. Well, that kind of leads to another question I think is really important, which is priority management, or what most refer to it as is time management. So going back to that critical concept of properly leveraging your CRM, most people don't manage their time properly to the point where it becomes a I'll do it later type thing, as you alluded to.
Mhm.
What would a for a new agent, or an agent that's just getting started, what would a daily routine look like?
Oh yeah. Well, I preach this too, and this is a Jim Rome quote. I need to take care of me
Yeah.
so that I could take care of you. Not I need to take care of you so you could take care of me. You got to take care of yourself first.
Hmm.
So, I'll share my schedule because, you know, I was actually talking about this in my team meeting a couple weeks ago. I was like, 10 years ago, I went out to one of those desks and I started working and I never left.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing the same thing over and over and over again. And your schedule changes, your life changes, but there's certainly disciplines you need to have and time blocks that you
Hmm.
have to get stuff done and intensity with inside those time blocks. So for me, I start my day early, 5 in the morning. I get up, I'm at the gym at 5:30, 5:30 to 6:30. My phone is in the locker. Nobody can interrupt my time. I'm not answering emails. I'm not getting the calls. It's 5:30 in the morning. It can wait till later,
Yeah.
because I need to take care of me. And I think that, as agents, you need to keep appointments with yourself as you build out your calendar. And that has fluctuated for me over the years too. sometimes I used to have my workouts in the middle of the day, and I used to book it, 12 to 1. And if a client would request a showing or something from 12 to 1, I would tell them no, because I already had an appointment with who? Myself. Because if I'm not happy with my life, then I'm not going to be happy serving others. So protect your time. That's priority number one. So early riser for me, 5:30, 6:30, I'm in the gym, get home, make my coffee, hug my son, and I'm off to work. I'm in the office by 7:45, 8 o'clock. And for me, and obviously it's changed, but what if I was an agent and all I was doing as agent? I'd be looking and following up with all of my clients, 8 to 9 a.m., maybe 8 to 10, following up with all my active clients. I'm making sure my passive prospecting is set up. I'm doing my active prospecting. I'm educating myself on what has come on the market, what has come off the market. I'm reaching out to agents. Hey, I saw you went under contract this weekend. What did you go under contract for? You would be surprised how much agents are willing to tell you what's actually happening. The tip of the spear, not just data that was from weeks or months ago. Here's what actually happened this weekend. Because I'll be like, oh, wow, a property that's been on the market for, 3 months had a $25,000 price reduction. I'll call that agent. Hey, what did you actually go under contract for? So now I'm having very educated, competent, and confident conversations with my active buyers. So that's 8 to 9 a.m. 9 to 11, I am prospecting.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have dedicated time to prospect, and that could be a variety of ways. That could be leads, right? Whether you're paying for leads, generating leads, whether it's Facebook, Instagram. And this is something I used to do, back in the day. Who are the people that know you? Reach out to them.
Yeah.
Go on Facebook, say hello. And Facebook is kind of back in the day. I'm aging myself, but just Instagram and TikTok are the new fads. I haven't got on TikTok yet, but we used to post on Facebook and just be in conversations with people that I know, which is rule number one as an agent. No secret agents.
Mm-hmm.
Let everybody know who you are, what you do. And this is what I love about our industry in comparison to others. Like, no offense to other industries, but we get to go and say, hey, Mike, we're friends. And I just want to share how passionate I am about helping people buy and sell homes, because I've seen it change their lives. And if you have anybody who has questions about the market, I love an opportunity to help them and educate them and help them change their life. Buying a home, it's changed my life. It's where I've raised my son, my family. It's where I get to create these amazing memories. And what a cool industry to be in, to be able to sell that, to sell those dreams, to make them come true. So that's 9 to 11. If you don't, so you got to have your active prospecting time. You got to take a break. You got to eat. And I've been guilty of this, Mike. I'm sure you have.
Oh yeah.
Every realtor has done this, where you don't eat. You got to fuel yourself. I've made those mistakes early on. Don't do that to yourself. Take a break. Go get something to eat. And in real estate, do it with a friend. Never be alone. Grab a burrito with somebody because the people believe in you, they love you. And just to encapsulate that, is Northwestern Mutual big up in
Not
Canada?
quite. Yeah,
But
not quite.
I'm sure you have friends who are in life insurance. But I just use Northwestern Mutual as an example, because the first thing they do to people who start a career there, who have no business, just like a realtor, they're 1099 just like us. They say, call everybody in your phone
Mm-hmm.
and let them know what you do and why you do what you do and why you chose this career. And the reason that they do it is because if they don't, their boss is going to fire them.
Yeah.
In real estate, who's your boss? You are. So if you're not willing to call everybody in your phone and let them know this exciting new journey that you're on, you should fire yourself on day one
Yeah.
because everybody in your phone knows who you are and they love you. They believe in you. You just have to believe in yourself enough to
Yeah.
let them know. So 9/11 prospecting, 12-1, take a break. 1-2, I think, again, educate yourself on the market, educate yourself on tools, systems, resources, educate yourself on a CRM, take a contract class. You need to always be, sharpening your saw, have more, tools and resources. And I always coach this: the best agents know the contract better than anybody. And my
Hmm.
first response to any question I ever get is, well, what does the contract say?
Yeah.
So educate yourself consistently. There are tons of free courses out there. There's YouTube courses out there. There's Facebook courses out there. There's contract courses. There's inspection courses, and this is what will separate yourself as an agent. And if you just stack those day after day, week after week, year after year, you will become one of the most well-rounded realtors that is going to attract people to you because of your knowledge. So do that from like 1-3, 2-3. And then at the end of the day, I always think you have to have more time for prospecting, whether that's
Hmm.
booking appointments to go on showings, it's booking open houses, it's reaching out to agents. Hey, I don't have an open house to work myself, but I love to work yours. There are agents I know in this community who have built a repeat and referral business just on working open houses.
Yeah.
But again, they were consistent. You don't get a repeat and referral business by working one open house. You get
Hmm.
it by working hundreds of them. And if you're going to spend money on leads, I would highly encourage you to work as many open houses as you can, because this is what I say: leads are for shooting your shot. They are not for practice. Leads are not for practice. If you
Hmm.
want to practice, work an open house. What a great, great way to spend $0 and get real on the job experience in a home that is for sale with a person who is interested in buying a home.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no financial commitment for you, and you could learn how to have conversations and put yourself out there and try things. First take an open house course, read the open house checklist, set it up for success, and then practice with somebody. There's somebody in your corner. You're, a friend, a coach, a mentor. And if you don't have one of those, there are YouTube videos that are available where you could educate yourself on what you should say and how you should say it when someone walks through that door. Back to having energy. If you're just
Yeah.
a door opener and say, "Hi, welcome to the open house. See yourself around. Let me know if you have questions."
Yeah.
That's not going to get it done. Instead of, "Hey, welcome in. I'm Kris Caldwell with EXP. How is your day going? What brings you in today? Are you guys interested in this neighborhood? Awesome. I'd love to share a neighborhood guide that I printed out for you, because more than the sticks and bricks, you're buying into this community. Do you know much about this community? I'd love to share what I know about this particular neighborhood." That will win you clients. So again,
Yeah.
setting yourself up for prospecting, open houses, lead generation, because that's what this business is. It's growing, it's getting leads, it's meeting people, and then working those people and keeping them in your sphere. And then, get home, spend time with your family, 5 to 7, 5 to 8. And then at the end of the day, for me, I'm an inbox zero type of guy. I
Yeah.
have to have zero emails, when I go to bed. Otherwise, I can't sleep. I'll spend like 8 to 9, 9 o'clock at night, and I'll just knock out my emails so I could start my day fresh and be ready to go the next day. Back to that I do it now mentality. I don't
Hmm.
wake up tomorrow with a bunch of do it laters.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. And again, just being able to manage those priorities and do like everything that you talked about was an income producing activity, something that actually moves the needle of your business or your life, your health, your wellness, your happiness, your family. Like there's no fluff in there. It's all intentional. And I think so many agents fill their calendars with busy activities that aren't productive because they just want to do it instead of doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
Now, one of the biggest questions that I know people are going to have, but I'm going to leave this as a bit of a cliffhanger for them, is how you actually scaled and retained such a successful team. And that's because I'd love for you to unpack, you recently made the transition, a big move over to EXP after weighing out different options with multiple other kind of cloud-based brokerages. But I would love for you to talk about, number one, why you made the transition to EXP, but number two, more importantly, what can people expect when partnering with you, knowing that they'll have you in their corner for free to be able to help them take their business to the next level?
I told you not to ask this question, Tommy. you know, man, what a journey for me. I've been at independent brokerages. I've started my own brokerage. I brought a brokerage to Compass. I've been at Compass for 6 years, and I just made the move to EXP, and it wasn't with a lot of anxiety, stress, because we get comfortable,
Mhm.
and I'm sure people have said this and heard this, comfort zones or danger zones. And it's like, okay, am I growing? And more importantly for me, I was asking myself, are my agents growing at the level that I'm growing? Back to, to take a full circle from when we first started talking, is like, I want people to be able to win as much as me. And
Mhm.
a big eye opener, for me, and I think a lot of people thought, maybe think this way, as I was going through my due diligence, I thought, like, damn it, I should have joined EXP 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's what everyone thinks.
I missed the boat. I'm joining, and unpacking it was really enlightening for me. And here's what that analogy was for me. I viewed like EXP as like 100-story building. I'm like, damn it, I'm joining at the 100th story. I'm late. And then someone told me, well, actually, no, that's not correct. You actually have this building that has all this support, and you're building your own building. And if you want, you could build it to block their views.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, very mind shift for me. I was like, wow, I get to build my own building as high as I want to build it. But here's what's cool too. Every agent on my team and every person I partner with can build their own building as high as they want to build it. They could block my view,
Yeah.
which is what I want them to do. So that was a big perspective for me about partnering with a company that allowed me, my team, the people I partner with, to dream as big as they want to dream. The leadership was super important too. Leo, gosh, I couldn't be more excited to partner
Yeah.
with a leader like him who's just, you know, leading the tip of the spear in the industry and having the conversations head on is very inspiring. So I'm excited to partner with him. I'm excited to partner with people like you. Back to that building analogy,
Yeah.
the Wolf Pack, Mike Sherrard, Louis Galt, Matt McGee, and the dozens of people inside the organization to be able to share openly, you know, tools, resources, advice from guys who've done it, who've been in the field, in the battleground, and that's what I'm excited to bring to the table for everybody who partners with me. I am an open book. I will tell you what has worked, what hasn't worked. I will, and this is what I say to my agents. My job is to teach you not to step in the shit that you
Yeah.
can't even see, because I've stepped in all of it. So here's the cheat codes not to step in the shit that I've already been in, to help you move faster, grow faster, and as big as you want to grow. And
Mhm.
I couldn't be more thrilled to partner with a company that truly believes in that and everything. And here's what's cool too, because I actually got this question the other day. Someone was like, "Well, isn't it a pyramid scheme?" And I was like, "That is a fantastic question, because I believe profit shares are pyramid schemes. The profit grows, the owner keeps taking more profit and
Yep.
gives the same share out to everybody else. Where revenue shares are as fair and as transparent as it gets in any industry.
Mhm.
Half the company dollar goes to the company to help support and grow it. The other half goes back to the agents, whatever that is. If that keeps growing, it keeps going back to the agents. So
Yeah.
it is as fair of a model where as you grow, your business grows, you win, other people win, you win together. Where I feel like so many agents, so many leaders, including myself these last several years, you feel very siloed off. Like, well, why would I want to support and help you, you know, grow your organization if there's no mutual benefit? And that's what I think is so cool, is like you could really lock arms, and that's what you get with me. I'm ready to lock arms like I've never locked them before. So hang on, 2025, we coming.
We're coming. Well, and dude, like you said, it's the ability to stack value. I bring to the table marketing, branding, and advertising, but Louis priority time management systems processes. You are scaling teams, converting, nurturing leads into repeat and referral businesses, and the fact that people can get that stack for free anywhere. And I think that's the key, is anywhere. You've done wonders in Denver and Colorado as a whole, but up until now, if you weren't there, you didn't have that opportunity to lock arms. And what this does is just rips off that geographic restriction and say, hey, I'm in Chicago, where you're from, or I'm in, Minneapolis, I'm whoever, where you are. It allows you to get the support, the community, the culture, and the guidance that you need to thrive without having to just search within the confines of your local market. Now you have a big opportunity to get multiple people that bring you the skill set for free that you deserve in order to get to your next level. So I love it, dude. It's an honor. It's so exciting. And again, I know that you're that open book. So again, guys, anybody that's listening, I've linked all of Kris's links below, as well as a Calendly link, so that if you want to book a call with him, talk about how he can help you either scale your solo business, partner with a team, or create and scale your own team, you can have that transparent conversation and see what we can do to help you scale your business. So again, Kris, thanks so much, man, for sharing your blueprint.
Absolutely, Mike. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. And hey, here we go, to the moon.
To the moon and back. Here we go. Guys, book that calendar link. This is your opportunity to take charge of your business, raise your standards, and align and lock arms with people who will actually be there to help you win. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.